Hello, everybody. So today we're going to talk about indirect object pronouns. We have previously talked about direct object pronouns, reflexive pronouns. Today we're going to focus on the indirect object pronouns. What are these and what are the differences? So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to read what it says here about what are they and how do we use them. We have the chart right here. And if you see the difference is in él, ella, usted form and ellos, ellas, ustedes form. Here we have le and les instead of se for the reflexive pronouns and lo, la, los, and las for the direct object pronoun. Now, if you remember, this guy here is the one that we use when you use gustar-like verbs. Like when you say, ¿qué le gusta comer a la señora B? You would answer, a la señora B le gusta comer la pizza. Le gusta, me gusta, te gusta. These are the indirect object pronouns, but we don't only use them with gustar-like verbs. We use them with some other verbs that we're going to talk about. So once you have read this part here, then I want you to click on the video. This is the video from Gramactiva that explains the indirect object pronoun. So click on that. Once you have seen the video, I want you to scroll down and I want you to actually work on Actividad 22. So like you see here, this is escribir, and I actually translated what are the directions. So I'm going to read the directions first. Mi tía era muy generosa. Era. So this is imperfect. She was very generous. Era muy generosa. Pero siempre, so we're using one frequently used word with the imperfect. Siempre nos compraba. So look at this. The verb comprar in the imperfect. Compraba. But then it has the nos here. And that's the indirect object pronoun that says who's receiving whatever is going to be bought or whatever used to be bought in this case. So it's us. She used to buy us. And then it says los primeros regalos, the first gifts. So what you need to do is, let me scroll down a little bit. So here's the translation. Write what my aunt used to buy for us. Use the indirect object pronoun and the person who was receiving the gift accompanied by an A. Like, a mi madre le gusta. That's how we used that before. So we need the a before the person when you're using indirect object pronouns. I'm gonna do the first one with you. See, the first one is gonna be given for you. But before, I want you to know that you need to use one of these words that are frequently used with the imperfect and when talking about the past. So use one different for each of the activities on the 22 number, on the activity number 22. So we have generalmente and any of these. Use a different one for each of them. So we have to remember, this is camiseta. This is osos de peluche. This is calcetines. And this is reloj. This is el tren eléctrico. And this is dulces. Okay, so I am going to do number 1, like you see here. The important piece here is that the person in the table is the person receiving. So we don't start with the person. And before typing this, actually, I'm going to show you the model. So the model is using one word from the list, right, from here. Then it's using one pronoun, indirect object pronoun, that belongs to the person who's receiving. And also make sure to remember that you are going to use the imperfect tense. And then there's a lot of things that we need to remember. That's why I'm doing this tutorial for you. So then you're going to put the object. In this case, is la corbata. And the last thing that you do is writing who is receiving it, accompanied by an A. Okay, let's see if we can do this. So number 1, you start with one of the words. And I'm going to choose todos los días. So I'm going to start with todos. Todos los días. And then we're going to use ella for my aunt. Same for all, because it's my aunt who used to do this. So, todos los días, ella, I'm going to type here, refers to my aunt. And then you're going to say who's receiving with the pronoun. So who's receiving? My mom. So what's the pronoun for my mom? It's the ella. It's the pronoun for her. So that's going to be le. So let's go down again. And I'm going to say todos los días, ella lee. And then I'm going to use, look at the model, always the same action because we're talking about what she used to buy, what my aunt used to buy. So, le compraba, and then what is it? What is it that she used to buy? In the model, we have the tie. So now we need to look at number 1. What's the object that she used to buy? Camiseta. So, todos los días ella le compraba, we can say la camiseta. We can also say una, so a shirt. And then, what else do we do? Look at the there, because now we're going to write who's receiving, who was receiving. So we have to put the first, because there's a person there who is receiving. So, and who's receiving? My mom. So that's ella, or mi madre. Okay, I hope that this makes sense. So let's read it again. Mi madre is the person. So the sentence starts here. Todos los días, ella, which is my aunt, le compraba la camiseta a mi madre. So follow this model and complete the other ones in the table. If you forget the directions, you can replay these tutorials so you can remember, because the steps are 1, 2, and 3, and 4. All right, so I hope that makes sense. This will be graded for accuracy. It's really important that you understand what you're doing. So this is classwork for today, and I am going to grade it for accuracy. Make sure that you do exactly what you need to do. Remember, you have the model, you have my example. You can replay this video every single time that you need it. Okay, bye.